How you doing, YouTube? Casper2206 here with another DVD movie review. Um, I went to Newberry Comics, which is a chain comic book store, and for $4, brand new, I found Superman, the complete 1948 and 1950 serial collection. This is, of course, the TV serials, the 15-minute short kind of episodes that would feature before movies at the theaters back in the 40s and 50s. This is both a series, Superman and Superman vs. Atom Man, which the first live-action version of Superman. Kirk Alyn plays Superman. You can see him right there. He's not bad looking for Superman. Noel Neill plays Lois Lane, of course. Well, Noel Neill, the first live-action Lois Lane. You know, I might be wrong. There might have been a live-action Superman before this, but I know it was only Superman. Like, she was the first flesh and blood Lois Lane. So you got Noel Neill. Then we got some guy playing Jimmy Olsen. Tommy Bond is Jimmy Olsen, and he's probably the oldest looking Jimmy Olsen ever. He looks like he's about 40 years old playing Jimmy Olsen. Gee, gosh, really, Miss Lane? He's like 40. The only special features are Saturdays with Superman, Noel Neill, Lois Lane, and historian Bob Burns, Donald Glut, Gary Grossman, Jim Harmon, and Jan Henderson recall making the two serials. So, as you know, it's an interview of people who were involved. And then look at Up in the Sky, The Amazing Story of Superman, bits and pieces from the Bryan Singer and Kevin Burns documentary that came out when Superman Returns came out, which is on my Ultimate Superman set, which I'll probably do a review on. So we got the complete serial here. It only cost me $4. This is probably the oldest thing I've ever watched. It's interesting to watch this, because you can see, you know, how low budget things were back then. Now serials back then were, how can I put this? Not a lot of actors liked to do them. They were considered like shit work. I guess it's kind of like, and then some actors also considered it fun work. So I guess back in the day, these were considered kind of like cartoons are considered nowadays. Yes, to do a cartoon could completely damage your career, and doing a cartoon could be fun. So these were, you know, you can tell the props and the sets and the costumes are all just very low budget stuff. So we got the cover here, and the cover is a nice shiny metallic. Everything's black and white except for Superman himself, which both serials are black and white, so I don't know why they did that, but both serials are black and white, I believe. I don't know, I didn't watch the second one yet, so I've only watched the first half of the first disc on this. So there's the case, and then we pull this out, and there's the front of the inside case, which is the same thing except it's matte finish, smooth cardboard, and then the back is a picture of Superman in red, and the back of the outer sleeve is shiny and whatnot. So we got that. Then we got some inserts were on the inside here. Some inserts of the DVD. We have get $10 back by mail when you buy this series right here, plus one of the Christopher Reeve series, which that makes no sense because I just bought the damn thing. Why would I buy it again? Not to mention I already own these two. Well, I've already owned this one. Now I own this one, so that's useless. We got some Turner Classic Movies subscription to Turner Classic Movie Magazine, and the little thing for their website, which I didn't know Turner Classic Movies had a magazine. Wouldn't be, they're not exactly movies, it's Turner Classic Magazine, I guess. And then we got a Warner Brothers, right there, Warner Brothers Buy Our DVD Set book. Friends, The OC, ER, Blue Collar TV, all the entire series of Wonder Woman, Smallville, Lois and Clark: The New Adventures of Superman, Superboy, The Flash, which I'm gonna get. Yes, I will. Right there. The old Flash series, if you guys remember that. I will be buying that. The Adventures of Briscoe County Jr. with Bruce Campbell. The complete series. Just advertisements by the, Adventures of Superman with George Reeves, The Wonder Woman, Dukes of Hazzard, Kung Fu, things like that. By the DVDs, that's what it says. So the DVD set itself, it has those two special features I talked about, which is pretty good, and of course it has both series. And the box is pretty nice. So we got the outer box, and I showed you the back, but we got the outer box here, and the inside sleeves, and that's the 1948 Superman serial. And then this is the 1950s Adam Man vs Superman serial with the episodes listed in here, and on the side here. And then on the inside, where the discs go, get more artwork. This is the Spider Lady, which is one of the main villains in this first serial, which is a really, that was creative back then. It was a woman in power. A woman villain was unheard of because it was the 40s, So, a woman in power is a pretty good idea back then. She's really only called the Spider Lady. She just has a fetish with spiders and spider webs. And then on the second one, in Superman vs. Adam Man, we have the picture of Luthor, which is not yet Lex Luthor. In the comics, when Superman first started out, he was just Luthor. Not Lex Luthor, and he was a mad scientist character. And then over the years, he eventually became Lex Luthor, the corrupt, powerful scientist / businessman. But first Flesh and Blood, Lex Luthor, right there. And it doesn't say his name on here, but oh well, I'm sorry. But first Flesh and Blood, Lex Luthor. IMDb it if you want to know his name. But I didn't watch that serial yet, so we'll see how that turns out. And then I got the discs here, which also have artwork on them, which is quite nice. I like it. I do like it when these sets have the artwork on them instead of being cheap, like my X-Men and set I showed you before, where the set is basically it just has the logo on a silver disc. Cough up an extra couple bucks and put the artwork on it. It's nice. It looks good. So I'll put here we go. Here's all the DVDs with the artwork on there. We got Superman, played by Kirk Allen. We got Lois Lane, Noel Neal, and we got Kirk Allen again. That's disc 4, and that's him as Clark. And then we got Jimmy Olsen. And if you look at this guy playing Jimmy Olsen, he's like 40 years old, and he's acting like Jimmy Olsen. No, not a bad actor either. He's like 50. Good golly, Miss Lane. So anyways, 19 serials is kind of like, how I'm trying to compare very low budget. Like sci-fi original movies. That's how low budget this was, especially back in the 50s. So, sets and costumes are really cheap. I mean, look at this guy on the front here. What the heck is that? Oh, what's this? What is that? I don't know. When they show Krypton, is basically a cardboard set, you can tell, and everyone's wearing like nice robes, like everyone looks kind of Roman. The Superman suit looks pretty much the same as it did in the George Reeves series. Everything that explodes is very 1950. It's very science fiction based, and that was, of course, of a theme of the 1950s. Everything was kind of science fiction. But, I watched the first 5 episodes of Disc 1 so far, and it's interesting to watch, not bad. The actors do a really good job. Kirk Allen as Superman, he's really trying. Of course, it's a little ridiculous, but that's the tone of the serials. Everything was kind of adventurous, kind of like the old Flash Gordon serials were. It's kind of what George Lucas modeled Star Wars after, is the old 40s and 50s serials that you would see at the theater. So it is campy. But it's not like purposely campy like the Batman series in the 60s was. It's everyone's just having fun playing Halloween kind of thing. So the actors do a good job. Noel Neal is a great Lois Lane. She was actually Lois Lane in this, and then when they did George Reeves series, they had another Lois Lane for the first season of that, and then Noelle Neal came in the second season and finished the whole series. So she's really been Lois Lane in two different um, exports of Superman. Um, she's also like the longest. She has the longest running career in Superman. She was in this, in the 1948 serial and 1950 serial. She was in the George Reeves series in the 50s. She was in the original Superman Donner movie. She was the lady on the train. When Superman's running across the train, they show inside there's a lady sitting across from a gentleman. That's Kirk Alyn and Noelle Neal with a young Lois Lane in that movie. And she was also in an episode of Lois and Clark: The New Adventures of Superman, I believe. And she was also in Superman Returns as Lex Luthor's widow in the beginning of the movie. So with the lady who dies and he takes her money, that was her. And she's still alive today. She's in her 90s now. So keep kicking, Noelle. Good acting. For the time. We hold actors at such a high standard nowadays. Back then, they really didn't. Which makes you wonder why not everyone. Because back then, if you were good looking, you were an actor. Where nowadays, talent's required. So not bad so far. Acting is pretty good. The set itself looks great. They really put some coin into that, which I like. I don't like when people half-ass these sets. So overall, it's pretty good DVD. If you find it for really cheap, like I did, $4. If you're a Superman fan or a fan of classic cinema, pick it up. What's $4? I work for not even half an hour at work, and I make $4. So there you go. It's on my Superman shelf, which is growing and growing. Nice addition to my Superman collection. And it gives you a chance to experience cinema beyond the normal, going to the theater every day shit. Cinema has a long history, and it's good to explore pieces of that history, whether it's old serials, which are kind of the bottom of the barrel back in the 40s and 50s, or if it was, Oscar-winning movies from the 40s and 50s. Like, one of my favorite movies from the 40s and 50s was 12 Angry Men. And that was considered like one of the best movies of the year at the point. It was like 1953 or something like that. So it's if you're a fan of movies and film in general, just don't, experience all of it, some old stuff. Give it a chance at least. If you don't like it, you don't like it, but give it a chance. I like this. The first 5 episodes are pretty entertaining, laughable, yes, but entertaining nonetheless. Very corny, yes. Writing's kind of bad, yes, corny. But back then it was funny. It was fun. So I say give it a go if you can find it. I only paid $4 for it, brand new. I'm sure you can find it for really cheap, and if you do, I say get it if you're a Superman fan. So that's it. I'll be doing more reviews sooner or later. I've been kind of busy lately, so thanks you guys for watching. Please leave comments and questions and criticisms down below. And Casper2206, I will see you guys at the movies.